Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy holidays. I hope you guys are not getting too caught up in the hustle and bustle and that you're pacing yourselves with getting all your tasks done to be ready for Christmas. If that's something that you celebrate, I'm going to wipe off my monitor or my camera here. I see a little bit of dust, so pardon me for that. And it does look like we kind of have some laggy internet issues again today, so I'll just apologize up front for that. I was telling John, who is backstage already, that when I go back and watch the streams, I can sometimes see the lag between my audio and what you see on the screen, but that the guests always look great. So even though we've got some pretty decent upload speeds lately since that last big issue was resolved, uh, it's still a challenge to find a good day when Spectrum is actually offering us some service that will allow me to upload and live stream smoothly. So, welcome to everyone in the chat. I don't have a YouTube window open. A lot of times I like to have a window open in another browser on the other desktop just so I can monitor how things look. But because I'm having this lag issue, I don't want anything to contribute to upload speed problems that would make the stream even choppier or out of sync than it might already be. And cross your fingers. I tried to round up the cats. Dogs and cats are in the house, just loose. I tried to round the cats up and put them back on their side of the house just so we wouldn't have any, distractions going on in the background if they decide to get frisky with each other. And it was just like that phrase, herding cats, didn't really work. So I'm going to leave them be. Right now, I've got 2 dogs laying down, resting right here by my feet. Serena is never a problem. But the cats will come and go. I've already had one cat, just as I've been sitting here waiting for the show to go live, one cat just dart right in front of me to get up here. We have a cat tree just here to my right by the living room window. And he darted right up there in front of me. So if that happens, don't be alarmed. It's an everyday occurrence around here. And all is well. So we will take care of going over channel stats between my 2 guests today. As you can see on the bottom of the screen there. Today we have John from Pedroza Travel. The channel was formerly called Elder P. So when I first mentioned that to you guys a few weeks ago, it's the same channel. He's just updated his channel name. And then second guest of the day, probably just before 3 o'clock, after we've done our channel stats and channel of the week, will be Angela from the Inquisitive Farmwife. So we've got a great mix of content creators for you today. I want to say hello to the people I see in the chat. Angela left a message, looks like last night in the chat. So I'm sure she will be here shortly. And I'm betting it's Brittany. Hi, Brittany from RB Story, Ronnie and Brittany. Again, John is backstage waiting to be introduced to everyone. We've got Destiny here from Dirt Road Destiny. Thank you for being here. And my friend and Texas neighbor and channel member and great content creator Nina from Runneth Over Garden and Life is here today. So thank you all. I am going to bring John up. I've got my little list of questions ready to go so we can get to know him. And I hope you guys have been checking out his channel while you waited for this week's Roundup. So let's bring John up.
Hello,
How are
everybody.
you? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. So tell us first geographically where you are.
Well, I am from sunny Southern California.
Okay.
I'm from Riverside, California, which is just east of Disneyland. That's what I tell everybody. We're 50 miles east of Los Angeles, or about a 30-minute drive to Disneyland.
Okay.
Everybody knows
So
what Disneyland is.
Are you north of San Diego then?
Yes, we're north of San Diego. We're part of what's called the Inland Empire. So we're which is comprised of Riverside County, San Bernardino County. Those 2 counties are often merged together and called the Inland Empire.
Okay, so San Bernardino County, there is like a San Bernardino forest, isn't there?
Yes, we have several forests here. We have the LA National Forest. We have the Cleveland National Forest. We have the San Bernardino National Forest. And then we have this. And then we're also out in the desert too. So we have all climates down here.
Oh, wow. So, and I asked about the San Bernardino forest because I'm a huge fan. My second favorite eagle nest of all the eagle nests I watch is Big Bear Valley. And I
Yes,
think that's in or
that's a
near
great
the
one.
San Bernardino forest, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is just outside of Big Bear and by Big Bear Lake. And yeah, I've met that pair of nesting eagles there. And also, if you go up to San Bernardino, they have a zoo there, and you can see some that have been injured that they rehabilitate up there as well.
Oh, neat. Okay, so I'm already tickled that we have that connection because, again, that's my second favorite nest, which is fun for me because my top favorite nest is Harriet and M15 in Fort Myers, Florida. So they've already laid their eggs. They have eaglets due right after the first of the year, but then Jackie and Shadow won't even lay their eggs until like January or February, I think, just because I mean the nest is full of snow even right now. So
Yeah.
it's still too cold for eggs
Mhm.
or eaglets. But I'm just tickled that we kind of have that connection because my only other connection to California would have maybe been San Diego because my youngest son was stationed at Camp Pendleton.
I saw that. I grew up down in San Diego. I grew up in Chula Vista,
Okay.
California, and I'm very familiar with San Diego as well.
Okay, so yeah, so lots of little connections. The world really is smaller and smaller the older I get.
That's what I
Hello,
learned.
Sydney Alberts. There is Sydney Alberts in the chat today, guys. Another channel member. Thank you for being here today. And if you are ready, I'm going to start firing off some questions. Again, a lot of times I'll ask a question and it will just naturally lead to some other information that you might share with us that I didn't necessarily think to put in the question. So feel free to go off on tangents as you're just letting us know who you are. My
Mhm.
objective is always to allow people that see these interviews to get to know the person behind the channel. Obviously, we can see you in your videos. We can feel like we know a lot about you or maybe even know you to some extent by seeing you in your videos. But I try to ask some questions that give us more info on what's going on in your brain and just who you are as a person beyond what we see on YouTube. But my first question is still kind of YouTube related. What motivated you to start your channel?
Well, I think I'm like most people when it comes to YouTube. I was just sharing videos to family. If you look at the first videos in my channel, they're all of my kid. They're all of my son because I was just like, I have a blog, pedrosatravel.com, and I was just sharing blog posts. I was living up in Crestline at the time. Crestline is up in the San Bernardino Forest as well. And so I was just showing vlogs of my son growing up. We went to like the Riverside Charles Dickens Festival of when he first started walking. One day he fell in the snow, and they're all like 30 seconds, 2-minute videos. But then you know how it goes with YouTube. You post it for your family, but then your family never watches it, right?
Yeah,
Right?
right,
How it goes. Your family
right.
never watches the videos that you post, and then you get like these people that don't know you that actually like start talking, and then they're like, wait, have you ever been to Mexico? I'm like, I go to Mexico all the time. You want to see those videos? Yeah, sure. Okay, then I'll start doing Mexico videos. Oh, wait, you're from Southern California. Can you tell us how to get to Disneyland? Yeah, I can tell you how to get to Disneyland. How about Knott's Berry Farm? And then it goes from there.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So, do you have then a day job besides being a content creator?
I do have a day job. I actually work for the city of Riverside. I'm a records manager for the police department here in town.
Okay.
So
Is
that's what
that
I
a
do on a
is that
9 to
a
5.
busy job and is it busier this time of year?
It's extremely busy. We're California, so I don't know if you know much about the political situation here in California, but I think it's due to our weather because we have such good weather here. It's like 70 degrees outside right now, and it's
Oh,
sunny,
nice.
and and that tends to bring in a lot of people from other states that maybe don't have income. I don't want to say homeless, but that's what it is. It's the homeless. We
Okay.
have a lot of homeless situations. So we've had a lot of influx. Everybody talks about leaving California. I'm like, fine, leave California and take a friend with you. But then they're all going to your state. They're going to Texas, I hear. Like I have like 5 friends that just moved to Texas this year.
Yeah, yeah. And how
So
long? Go ahead.
it's busy. A funny story about my job. So I used to do construction for a living. I used to be an apprentice tile setter, is what I used to do for a living. And so I was apprentice tile setter for actually 4.5 years when I was younger. This is like 20 years ago. And I liked the job, but then 9/11 came. And I'm sure you remember 9/11, like the economy just froze. It was kind of like the different pandemic, and construction in particular just like stopped. And I was actually laid off for 6 months during that time. I was going to school, but I needed a job because I had this new family. Like I just had gotten married. And so I'm like, I need a job that's not going to get laid off no matter what. And right when I thought that, a police car came by me with its lights blazing. And I'm like, that's the job. There's always going to be police work. And so I started studying administration of justice, forensics. And so I started with the Riverside Sheriff's Department. I was what's called a klutz operator. They're the ones that like run your when the officer in the car runs your driver's license and your vehicle plate, we're the people on the other side telling that officer, oh yeah, that person's good, or no, arrest that person on the spot because they have 5 warrants in their name.
Okay.
I was doing that. I was working graveyards and then just working my way up, and now I'm with the City of Riverside, the police department, and it's a good job. I like it a lot.
So it's a 9 to 5 kind of day job now?
Sort of. Police work is never 9 to 5. I have my phone, which I call my electronic leash, because if an emergency happens, even during this call, if they call me and say officer down, I'm out of here.
You'll see me. Y'all cross your fingers. Cross your fingers, everybody.
So it's mostly 9 to 5.
Yeah. Here's the first of the cats trying to introduce himself. This is good. He's low enough you can't see him. This is Brutus, our giant Maine Coon cat. Well, here, let's just come up and at least say hello to everyone. Say hello to everyone.
Hi, Brutus.
There he is. There he is.
Blending in the background.
You have to go lie down, honey. So hello to Drunken Chef. We have Drunken Chef in the chat today. And hello, Angela. Angela, the Inquisitive Farmwife, is here. So she will be up once we finish our interview with you, John. But
great.
back to my questions. So if you have a quote unquote day job and you're pretty much a full-time content creator here on YouTube, what do you do when you're not doing one or both of those? I know you guys like to travel, obviously, but
yes.
Do you have other hobbies, or what do you do in your downtime?
I do a lot of stuff with church. I like my church. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka the Mormons. And so I do a lot of church work. And then I've been practicing the piano, but really travel is my passion. That's what I like to do. Travel. If I have a bit of free time, I'm gone. That's
okay.
I just like to move. I keep on the move. In fact, this afternoon, I'm going to Long Beach because I'm going on a cruise. So
okay.
As soon as this interview wraps up, I'll be out to Long Beach.
And so I know you said it was like in the 70s there today.
Yes.
So Christmas Day, you're expecting the same kind of weather?
Yes.
Nice.
It'll be sunny. We're interesting. You can get all sorts of weather here in Southern California. If you go up to the mountains, I'm sure you saw in your cameras, it snowed up there. So there's snow up in the mountains. But this is just an equal day. If I wanted to, I could go out to Orange County. I could go out to the beach. In 40 minutes,
wow.
In 40 minutes, I could be on the beach. 40 minutes, I could be up in the snow. It's just whatever you pick around here. That's how it works here.
Okay. Yeah. So sometimes we have both extremes in the same day here, just right here at our property, because Texas is famous for that. But
I was going to ask, you survived the tornado? I saw that video.
Yeah, that one, the closest one. So there were two that hit about the same time during that event, and the closest one was about 4 miles. The phone shows it's 3.9 miles from us, and it did do a pretty good bit of damage. But I mean, I never even really heard wind. It rained really hard for a little while. The sirens did sound here, but sometimes the sirens will sound just because the danger is close enough that, they just want to be sure nobody gets left out of knowing what's going on. Or sometimes if it just really is extremely windy, even when there's no worries about tornadoes, the sirens will still sound. But it's not as common as you might think. Mostly we hear the sirens on the first Wednesday of every month when they're testing them. 1 o'clock.
At least you get warning. When there's an earthquake here, we get no warning.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
think I would settle for the tornado threats here because sometimes I know for the particular system that came through that brought the tornadoes to our area, the weathermen online were already warning us, a day or two ahead of time. So
Mm.
they can already at least see that the conditions are right for that. You're right, earthquake,
You get
you know,
about 30 seconds, enough to get in the door, and that's it. I see
golly.
that Drunken Chef Barbecue just did hands up from Orange County. Are you from Orange County, Drunken Chef? I just saw your comment.
Hey, yes, let us know for sure in the chat because if that's the case, I didn't know that either. Hello, Adam Sky. How are you?
Hey,
Yes, so
Adam Sky, I
he
see
is
your
saying hello
comment.
to you. Adam is in the UK, so he's probably my farthest away chatter this morning. But back to my questions. Does anyone help you with the channel? Does anyone help with filming or coming up with ideas or editing or
Not really. My wife sometimes will help me with a video to hold the camera, or
okay?
she'll do some ideas. But my family can be a little bit what I call camera shy, and
Okay.
so I just do it on my own. I'm, you know how it goes with YouTube. You become filmer, editor, poster, whatever you need to do. That's what you do.
Okay. And yes, Drunken Chef says he grew up in Santa Ana.
Oh, I love Santa Ana. Nice place.
Oh,
There's some really good burritos there.
yep. And Nina, if you're still here, it looks like we've got a little bot paying us a visit today. If you want to
We
take
got
care
a
of that,
bot.
or
We need a
yeah,
booth.
yeah, really. Back to my questions. So, when did you upload your first video, and what was it?
It was 13 years ago. I've been on YouTube, and it was a video of the Charles Dickens Festival. Every year here in Riverside, we celebrate Charles Dickens with a big festival. And what they do is the city comes out, and we all dress up as different characters from Charles Dickens, and they have like a street fair going on. So that was the first video.
Sweet.
So if you go to that one, you'll see some of the cool costumes. We have the Queen come out. Queen Victoria comes out, and we have the Queen soldiers. It's pretty crazy.
Sweet. And hello, Pete. Scratch and Pete PA is here. Thank you for taking care of our little bot visitor there.
Yay!
And
No weird bots.
I hope you didn't open up some, when that happens, that at least it means now you're getting noticed on YouTube when the bots start showing up in your chat.
Yeah.
I don't know that it makes me feel a little better, but I guess I'll
I
go
don't
with that.
know.
I had opened up another.
You ever get
I
like
did
this?
open up another tab.
Do you ever get this scenario where like you'll get a subscriber and then it's like a bot and then you just know, oh, that one's gonna get like erased in like 2 days. So you don't get too excited about that one. I've had that happen
Yeah,
a few
I
times.
can't always tell. Every now and then, I'll even see like a comment on a video, and I'll think, I don't think that's a real person.
Mm-hmm.
But I know YouTube goes in and cleans house every now and then, and somehow they're able to detect, what's human and what's not. So I
Yeah,
try
they're
not
pretty
to
good
worry
about
about
that.
it. The number tends to go up and down a lot. So do you have a video on the channel that is your favorite or that you're most proud of?
Yes, I think I told you about this one, but I'll tell the rest of the group here. My favorite video is one called Hearst Castle. I actually got, if you don't know what Hearst Castle is, William Randolph Hearst was owner back in the 30s. He owned several magazines like Good Housekeeping, Cosmopolitan. He also owned several newspapers in the United States. He owned the railroads on the West Coast. He was with that Leland Stanford crowd owning the railroads. So he had lots of money, and he built a castle called Hearst Castle in San Simeon, California. It's a huge castle built in Mexican revival style. It's an amazing place if you get to go tour it. But there's this big pool there, and it's called the Neptune Pool. It is amazing if you get to watch the video. It's one of my favorite videos on the channel as well. And ever since I was a little boy, I'd go to this place. It's kind of like a museum where like you can look, but you can't touch. But then one day I saw this guy on TV and he jumped into the pool. And I'm like, if that guy jumped into the pool, why can't I jump into the pool? And then like, so I went back to the castle and I was like, can I jump into the pool? You can't jump into the pool. This is a museum. You don't jump into the pool museum. But I saw this guy. And so I found out. So if you want to find out the more of the story on how I got to swim in the Neptune pool, which has relics of that temple is 2,000 years old. It's on the channel. So that's a little teaser there of how I got to swim in the Neptune pool at Hearst Castle.
And I don't remember if I know I shared a couple of links in my community tab just to get people kind of pre-introduced to. So yeah, there's a scavenger hunt for you guys to go to his channel and find that video. I did watch that one. I just don't remember if I shared it or not. It might be that very first one I shared when I met you. When I met you at that Power Director,
Yes.
community tab comment. Because that's I think a neat story. Yeah, that's a neat story, I think, guys. So I am subscribed to the Power Director University channel here on YouTube. And Malik there does periodically post stuff in his community tab, and I interact and make comments. And I think Malik had asked a question about being able to collaborate with a big channel or something along those lines. And John's response was that his channel was too small. So I commented, you guys that have been watching these lives for a while will know that I had a couple of big channels as guests on the show, and didn't even have the number of subscribers I have now at the time. So I commented to him that he just needed to believe in himself. So, and I still want you to hold on to that.
Amazing person with that. You do such a great job with your community channel. You are kind of like my mentor in that one.
I have fun with it. Hello, Seth the Welsh. Guys, Seth the Welsh is a friend of mine from Dino's channel at the Late Late Horror Show. Thanks for being here today. Back to questions. What do you always keep in mind when you are creating a video or coming up with ideas for videos? What is your primary objective? What do you focus on?
Well, I think there's two primary objectives when it comes to a travel channel. I mean, in real life, a lot of my friends have caught on to the fact that I go on some kind of trip at least once a month. And they're like, hey, John, how do you go on a trip once a month? So I'm always looking to help other people do that. I personally believe people have this conception, I think, that travel is expensive. And the fact of it is, if you know how to travel right, it can be really cheap. And so I try to do that. I do a lot of tips on how to travel. And if you notice in the videos, you'll see me talking about red eyes and special flight deals and stuff like that. But also the other thing so I try to incorporate that into my videos. But then the other thing is people just want to know what the area is like. I mean, if you go to my channel, I just got back from the Baltics. And so I was talking about Sweden and Finland and Estonia and Lithuania. You can learn how I became a Lithuanian superhero on my blog. That's a different story. That was a funny one. But there's also interesting people out there, and I just want to connect people with people. So that's what it's all about. Connecting people really with people. Nice.
So what's your favorite thing about YouTube?
I just like the idea that you can send, take for instance, you and I, you can send a message out into the universe and somebody's actually going to listen to that message. That is just a crazy thought to me, that there are people out there. Like I said, when I started the channel, my target audience was my family, which did not view the videos. It was just strangers out there that were interested in that particular video. And so it's just amazing. One of the videos that my most popular video, I think now has over 60,000 views. And it's just me walking down a street in Tijuana, Mexico. Who would have thought 60,000 people would want to watch that video? You just never know. Although there's some topics that are going to do well. For example, whenever I post a video of the Marine Corps band, I know I'm going to get 5,000 views on that one. That's for sure.
I've watched that.
The Marine Corps band. I mean, that's easy.
Yeah. And what's your least favorite part about YouTube?
I don't really understand the algorithm all that much. So, I mean, I've been on YouTube for 13 years and I'm still kind of low on subscribers. And so, and it seems like they're not very apparent on YouTube on how they do like certain things with the algorithm. So everybody's guessing. Like I always hear you like, if you're gonna subscribe to a channel, subscribe for more than 3 minutes. Like you have to watch the video
Yeah.
for 3 minutes because otherwise they'll like the you won't get subscribed. I've even had it to myself sometimes where I subscribed to a channel and I guess the algorithm didn't like me subscribing, and then they took me off as a subscriber. And it wasn't the channel because I know the person did not boot me. It was because YouTube booted me. It wasn't. So YouTube does some weird back office stuff that I don't quite understand, don't like. But what are you going to do? I think there is a window of opportunity for another platform, but I don't think we've quite seen what that is going to be. Like
Yeah.
I have accounts on like Daily Motion, but it doesn't have the same community feel. But you also have to understand that YouTube is owned by Google. So if you know that, then you also know that it's a search-driven platform. And
Yeah.
so I get great views on my channel, but I don't get good subscriber counts. So it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting that way.
Well, again, that's part of why I made a decision with my lives that I want to start focusing and featuring smaller channels for the most part, because I really think that's just the piece that's missing is that because I've said before, I'll continue to say that when people like you, they will watch your videos and subscribe and support your channel, regardless of what the content is. I still think, you could be, I don't know, whittling sticks. And if people know you and like you, then they just want to be a part of whatever it is you're doing on the channel. Not that I feel like anybody's gotten a huge boost from being on the show, but again, every little bit helps. And uh, this recent issue with Crack in the Box, I don't know if all of you guys are aware of that, but I would think it's probably safer to grow a little more organically and a little slower than to have big, huge jumps in the numbers, because little Corey at Crack in the Box, Make a Wish got involved with his channel. Uh, Johnny Depp got involved with his
Wasn't
channel.
that amazing? Johnny
Yeah,
Depp was on his channel. I saw
yeah.
that.
And
That was amazing.
he went from, I know when I first learned about it, he had about 72,000 subscribers, but by the next morning, so like 8 o'clock the next morning, he had 114,000 subscribers, and he's close to 200,000 now. But YouTube shut him down. YouTube terminated the channel,
Oh my
and I'm
goodness.
guessing it's because something just triggered. Here's another cat. Here's Mary. Say hi, Mary.
They
Oh,
they
you
shut
see
the
what?
little kids channel down.
They shut it down. And I think it
Oh
was
my
just
goodness.
like an automatic thing, because YouTube identified this, oh, something fishy's going on here. This kid with only 3 videos on his channel or whatever just gained 100,000 subscribers in 8 hours.
Mhm.
We got to shut that down. Something's not right. Now he's been reinstated. He's back
Oh, good,
on.
good, good.
He
Because
kept,
he
yeah,
had a
he
great
kept
message. His
yeah,
message
he
was
kept
great.
all of his subscribers. But part of what I wanted to, again, use as an object lesson there was just that, if you do some wacky things, that's why it's never safe to work with like these promo SM, these companies that you can pay them and they'll get you subscribers, because it's not organic, it's not honest, and YouTube does look for that. And so be wary. And so I would sure rather see anyone that I know here on YouTube, gain 5 to 25 subscribers a week, if that's what it takes. Obviously, there's going to be some little viral moments here and there, maybe for some of us, that will bring in more people. I'll tell you now that when I post Eagle content, I'm amazed. I posted like a 2 or 3 minute video when Harriet and M15 laid their first egg this year and got like 24 subscribers out of it.
Wow, that's
So there's just
amazing.
some content that people are hungry enough for, that when they see it, from a new channel, they want to be involved. And
It's very
and
interesting how that works too. Like I remember I did this video. I was in Arizona and I wasn't even going to this place. I was going to Casa Grande, Arizona, if you know where that is. And but I was staying at this hotel in this little town. in Arizona. And I posted this video about this town that was controlled by the Pascua Yaqui Indians. And it's just like a 2-minute video of me like walking down talking about this quaint little town. And then next thing you know, it gets like 6,000 views. But then you'll take another video where you like edit it and it's
special effects,
10 minutes long, and you'll get like 5 views off of it. You never know how it's gonna go.
I've really just given up. I really now, maybe it's going to be to my detriment at some point. I'm just sharing stuff that is meaningful for me. And I know I do have at least a little handful of people now that have connected with me well enough that they just seem to be excited about the stuff that's exciting to me. So if I post a video where I've spent 3 weeks collecting clips and 3 days piecing them together and adding music and special effects and it only gets 20 views, hey, there's nothing I can do about it, because you're right. The converse is true too. I'll have like a 16-second short that gets 8,500 views in the first 3 hours, and I get 11 subscribers out of it even. And it's just no kidding. I had one of our boarders backed his way through between the chair and the couch. He was backing up to come through, which I just thought was really funny. And I'd seen him do it a couple times, so I knew to be on the lookout while I was at the computer the next time he did it, because it's right beside me. And I happened to catch it on film, and it absolutely blew up. And let's look real. I think it's only like 16 seconds long. It's a super, super short video, but people like it. So animals are real popular on YouTube too. So if you've got some animals, throw those into the mix every now and then.
I see you got a super chat down there from Seth the Welch. Thank you, Seth the Welch. You got a $5 super chat.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Seth the Welsh. So I may have just missed it on this. Because I was on my banners. I'm not even on my comments, y'all. Sorry about that. Let me go there. I should be paying more attention. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, John. Thank you, Seth the Welsh.
My
so
wife
sweet.
Is
Thank
more
you
popular.
so much. Okay.
My
and yet
wife
she's
is
kind of camera
popular, but it's like when my wife comes on film with me, it's always like I'll get like 1,000, 2,000 views off of my wife. But she kind of gets camera shy sometimes. But I'm like, come on the video. You help my videos. So it's always better when your significant other is on camera with you. I totally agree with Dirty Road Destiny on that one.
Yeah. Well, so Mike and Terry at MT Homestead do their lives together. And Mike has even said to Richard before, you need to be getting on here doing lives. It's a bonding thing for the two. Everybody likes that. But Richard, and he's not shy. I don't know what it is, but he just does not want to be the star of the show. He's in a lot of the videos just because the nature of the work we do here, we both do it. And so Seth the Welsh, I'm going to go off script here for a minute. If you have a channel, let me put my email address up. Seth the Welsh, if you have a channel and you want to visit about being on the show here someday so I can introduce you to folks, here is my email address. Send me a note and we'll look at the schedule together. But back to my questions. If you could collaborate with any YouTuber, no limits, to create a video together, is there someone and who would it be?
But I'm already doing that right now with you, right?
Hey, that's the first time anyone said that. Bonus points for John.
No, there are so many good YouTubers out there. Of course, there's some big travel channels out there. Samantha Brown would be great. Rick Steves. I don't know if your audience knows about Rick Steves.
Oh, yeah. Travel with Rick Steves. Well, he had a PBS.
I've actually met Rick Steves. I have his autograph. I'd love to do something with him out in Europe. That would be awesome. But, I mean, there's so many good channels out there. There's a big expat community down in Mexico. And so there's several what I call expat channels down there in Mexico. And any one of them would be great. There's one that's called Eat Baila Travel, and they are salsa dancers who used to live in Chicago, and now they're living in Querétaro, Mexico. Okay. And so they talk about their experiences with food and music in Mexico, which is really cool. So there's all sorts of good people to collaborate with.
Oh yeah, and again, so I want you to believe in yourself. If you aren't collaborating with them because you think you're too small, your channel's too small, hey,
Mm-hmm.
all it takes is sending out an email,
Mm-hmm.
or just the worst thing that can happen is you either don't hear from them at all, or they say they're not interested. But
For sure.
then it's no different than it was before you sent the email. So,
Yeah, for
um,
sure. That's a good point.
so
Think about that.
I'm going to take the liberty of assuming that you speak Spanish.
I do. I do
Okay,
speak
and
Spanish.
did you grow up speaking Spanish? Is your last name, that's a Latin name, isn't it?
It is. I am actually a dual citizen. I am half American and half Mexican.
Okay.
But the funny thing about Spanish is Spanish was actually the first words I ever spoke were actually in Spanish. But when I started to go to kindergarten, actually, I went to pre-kindergarten when I was 3 years old. The schools here discouraged me using Spanish because back then they said that if I just spoke Spanish, I wouldn't learn English, which that didn't make sense because I already knew both by the time I was 3. But I forgot my Spanish and I did not learn it. My parents divorced when I was young. They divorced when I was 3. And so I lost my Spanish and I did not regain it again until I was 7. So now I speak Spanish, but my Spanish kind of has an American accent to it, but it
Okay.
works. Um, and then I lived in Argentina for 2 years, so it's all messed up these days.
Oh, it's hodgepodge Spanish.
Yes, well, Argentine Spanish and Mexican Spanish are not the same, let me tell you.
Right, right. So my story that I've shared before, I don't speak Spanish. I cannot tell you why. My father spoke fluent Spanish. My grandfather was from Nuevo Laredo. My grandmother, I can't remember where my grandmother was born on his side. So I grew up around it, lots of Spanish. And it's funny because when I was little even, and even now I can kind of understand it. I just can't speak it all. So kind of like a 18-month, 2-year-old kid, you can understand what's being said, but you can't speak it back. But my grandparents, when I was little, it was like Ricky and Lucy. So they would be talking and it would kind of turn into an argument. And then they would start using Spanish like Ricky would do with Lucy. He starts out in English and then as he gets more emotional, he starts speaking Spanish. And my sister and I just thought it was the funniest thing because we really could understand a lot of what they were saying. I mean, it was never anything like ugly, but as they got emotional, they just sort of naturally would switch into into Spanish. And so I was around it all the time, but I do speak French. And when
Ah,
I've been to
okay.
Spanish speaking countries, I can speak French and get by pretty well. A little pantomiming
Oh,
might
if
be
you
needed every
speak
now and then
French
because
to
the
me,
language,
I'm going to understand you for sure.
oh
Same with
yeah, the language
Italian.
is
Like
the
I went to
same.
Italy and I understood everything
Uh-huh.
because Italian and Spanish, Italian, French, no
Oh
problem.
yeah. Again, I've just had to kind of act out something every now and then if the word really was different enough that they weren't getting it. But
Mhm.
anyway, so I just thought because I've seen so many videos of you visiting Mexico, I thought surely you speak Spanish, and that was really nice for us when we went to Mexico when I was little because my dad, did all the communicating for us, and um,
Although you don't need to know Spanish to go to Mexico. Let me tell you. And you don't even need pesos to go to Mexico. They'll take your dollar. I've not
okay,
yet been to a place where they will not take your dollar in Mexico. Let me
okay.
tell you.
How funny. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing you're younger than I am. I want to say back when I was a kid, it really did seem to be a disadvantage if you didn't have someone in the group with you that spoke Spanish, particularly when we would go to the little markets and bazaars and things, because my dad was a haggler, was a great haggler. And so, he would be negotiating with these vendors so that we could buy our velvet paintings and sombreros and all that to bring home when we would go to
You will
Matamoros.
you will definitely get what I call the gringo tax if you don't speak Spanish. But I think you'll get the gringo tax if you even speak Spanish. I mean, as soon as they see a white person come in, like you're gonna pay 10 to 15% more than a local. Just know that that's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
So, yeah, there's another tip and trick.
Yes.
Hello, Southern Mama. How are you? Thanks for being here
Hey,
today.
Southern Mama. Nice to hear you in the chat.
So what's your favorite kind of food?
Oh, that's a hard question. You realize I've been to 5 continents, so
That's why I'm curious to know what's your favorite kind of food because I've already seen all the places you've been.
if you were to ask me my favorite dish, I would say Baja lobster. One of my favorite places to go, like just for a day trip, because it's about 3 hours away from here, from where I'm at, is a place called Puerto Nuevo in Baja California. Baja California is the Mexico California.
Southern, yeah.
Yes. So there's California, United States, but then there's California, Mexico as well, and that's called Baja. And in October is the lobster season. Actually, right now is the lobster season. And what they do is they have the California spiny tail lobster. So it's like a lobster, but it doesn't have claws. And they take that lobster and they fry it in lard. And then they serve it with beans, rice, and homemade flour tortillas that are as bigger than your head. Like
I am
literally, they
so
are bigger than your head.
hungry now. Oh, wow.
Yes. And you get like 3 lobster tails, all you can eat beans, rice, tortillas that they handmade at your table. Like a little lady will come to your table and make the flour tortillas, and you get that for $15.
Nice.
That is like, I could probably eat that every day for the rest of my life. But in general, Mexican food, I think, I don't know, I'm a little bit partial. I mean, my last name is Pedrosa. I'm a little bit partial to Mexican food. So that helps. Italian food is really good. I've been discovering Italian food channels lately, and those are really good too. So, but yeah, Mexican food is great. I mean, really, it's people when they think Mexican food, they think burritos and nachos. But the funny thing about it is, burritos were actually invented in California, and nachos were invented in Texas. Those two foods are not Mexican foods. Those are American foods. Burritos and nachos are Mexican food. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I don't know if I did, but I did learn that the Caesar salad was actually comes from Mexico.
It comes from Tijuana, Mexico. Yeah.
That was an eye opener for me.
Yeah. Another video on my channel there if you want to go see it.
Yeah. So, again, I know you travel. I know there's a big travel focus on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite place you have visited? A place that you cannot wait to go back? You enjoyed it so much.
Well, like I said before, I am very partial to Baja California, the whole coast of Baja. One series of videos that I did, I actually drove all the way from here, from Riverside, down to the point, down to La Paz in California, which is the point of Baja California, and back up. It's there's a different feel in Baja California. It's kind of desert, it's ocean, it's there's not a lot of development there. It's still like wild. But you can go to places like Bahia Negro and you can swim with whales. Like it's not like here where like there's the regulations. You just go on a little boat and you can go swim with a whale. Like you want to see a California gray whale, you can do that in Baja and nobody's gonna say anything. There's little beaches there that have no electricity. There's no Wi-Fi. You have to pack everything in, pack everything out. But the bluest beaches that you'll ever see. Little churches, little markets. But then, I also like to travel. One of the goals that I have is to travel to all the U.S. capitals. And so I have a whole playlist about U.S. capitals. And so all the U.S. capitals have been fascinating. Every state in the United States is amazing. We just live in an amazing country. And it's funny because most people have not been to any other state in their home state, which I always find fascinating. But really, like, I know you're from Texas, and I just recently visited Austin, Texas, and they have the oldest honky tonk I went to in Austin, Texas. And then they have the Bat Bridge there, which was amazing. There's like so many amazing things in each state. Later on this summer, I'm going to be going up to it's going to be Salem, Oregon, which is the state capital of Oregon, and seeing they have an amusement park there called the Enchanted Forest, and then they have like underground caves. Like there's just so many things to see. So really
we'll have a video. We'll have a video coming up of that. Yes.
Oh, you'll definitely have a video of that coming up.
Nice. And Southern Mama, tell Logan I said hi. Hi, Logan.
Hi, Logan.
That's her son, Logan, that's watching with her today.
Awesome. Hi,
so
Logan.
Now, do you watch much television? Do you have a favorite TV show or genre or actor or?
I don't watch a lot of television. In fact, I don't even have cable TV. I do have streaming TV. When you travel a lot, I mean, there's a lot more to see outside than there is inside. I guess you could say I'm what they call a Trekkie. I really like Star Trek,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
latest
Original
series.
series or the newer ones?
Well, my favorite is Next Generation. That's my all-time favorite.
Yes. Okay. Yes. There's another connection,
Yeah,
John.
Captain Picard. He's the man.
Uh-huh. I have
Riker and
binged on
Captain.
that so many times. I've watched that straight through so many times. Yeah.
Oh, love it, love it. But the new series on, I don't know if you've seen the new series, they have Star Trek Prodigy, which is an animated series. And
Uh-uh.
I've actually liked that. They have Katie Mulgrew, who was Captain Janeway on that show.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And so she's leading up, she's like looking for some misfit space kids on that show.
Okay.
So that's
I'll have
been a
to check
great
it
series. I
out.
like that one.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. So
Yeah.
Picard is your favorite captain, then?
Oh, by far. Captain
Okay.
Picard. I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
he's
I
the
mean,
best.
I just like him in general. But
Mhm.
let's see. Would you consider yourself more artistic or more analytical?
I consider myself more analytical. I like to think things through. It's just something that I like to do. I see the comment there, Southern Mama. So there is an interesting story for these postcards behind me. These are all postcards. So these are postcards. This is part of my postcard collection. And what this is places that I have visited in the last year. So these are all the places this year I have visited. And so if you look at them, here, I'll bring some down so you can look at them. I'll show you a cool one right here. I'll just pull it off the wall here.
You still have space to fill too, huh?
Oh, still have space. This is actually from Visby, Sweden, which is Gotland Island. This is the capital of the Vikings. So the Vikings, this is the capital. I like this postcard because it's 3D. I don't know if you can really see it that well, but it's 3D
Okay.
postcard. So I have over, I don't know, 25 postcards. We have all sorts of stuff on the wall. We have toucans on the wall. We have Seattle. We have Sweden. We have Berlin, Germany. We have Chihuahua, Mexico. We have Finland up on the house. We have
You, you said
Estonia.
that's just you said that's just part of your collection. So where do you keep the other postcards?
I have a giant I have 2 giant 3-ring binders. And so what will happen is at the end of the year, these will start coming down and then we'll start putting the new ones. So I'll put the old ones in a 3-ring binder and then, they're all in a year. Every month I go to a different place. That's my channel. Every month is a different place. Southern Mama. That's how it works on my channel.
I might have to have you on the show again at the end of next year just so we can see what postcards are up there. That might be fun. We could start a Christmas tradition, you and I. You
That
come
would
on
be
and
great. If you'd like a
about-
postcard, I will send you a postcard. You send me your address, and I will send you a postcard. We are going to be visiting some cool places. We already have several trips planned out. Like I said, this afternoon I go to Mexico. I'm going to La Paz, Mazatlan, and Veracruz. I will be going in January. There are some special cities in Mexico. They're called Pueblo Mágicos. They're special cities designated by the Mexican Board of Tourism. And I'm going to go visit 3 of them. My dad owns a travel company down in Mexico. And so he got me hooked on these Pueblo Mágicos, which are special cities. They each have something special to them. Some are featured, some of them have pyramids, some of them have dances, music, food, but they're special cities. So I'm going to do that in January. I'll be visiting probably 3 different towns in Mexico. The spring in March, I will be going to Puerto Vallarta again, and we're going to go to a special Aztec dance in March. So there's a special nighttime dance that's traditional down there that we're going to go see in Puerto Vallarta for the Aztecs. I like pre-Hispanic art a lot. Pre-Hispanic art is something that I like a lot. And so you'll see that featured a lot on my channel. And then in the summer, we're going, like I said, we're going to Salem, Oregon. So that we have some concerts coming up on my channel. We just did the Elton John concert. We did his last concert here in the United States, the Elton John concert here. And then in March, I got tickets to go see Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks. They're going to partner up, and they gave me tickets. So isn't that cool?
Nice. Where will that be?
That will be at the LA Stadium in Los Angeles. So we'll be headed there. June, we have a special event in Hollywood that we'll be going to. So I'll be out the Chinese Grand Theater. Don't know if you've heard of the Chinese Grand Theater. That's where several movies were premiered back in the 30s. So there is jam packed on the schedule. Every month is a different travel on my channel.
Sweet. And I did want to say hello to Dr. Lund. Psychology Noir with Dr. Lund is in the chat today. Thank you
Lund.
for being here. And hello, Pafford Homestead. So nice to see you today. I hope you're having a great Christmas and everybody's feeling well. I'm going to ask just a couple more questions, and then we're going to get Angela on the screen. So I like asking this one lately. If you're stranded on an island, what 3 things would you want to have with you?
Stranded on an island. Are there coconuts on the island? I don't know. You got to have a knife. If I had my GPS, I actually have a special device. I have a GPS alert system that if I had that, then I'd have a ship pick me up.
Okay, yeah, you're allowed
to play more remote places. I have a special GPS alert device that will back me up. I do sometimes go to some very extreme places, and so it's a special device that'll help pick me up if I'm in an extreme place. So that would be good to have. And then I'll be back in civilization again. Other than that, find me some good internet and I'm good.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I don't have any rules about what you're allowed to have on this island. So this is a free for all island. So yeah. So those are good questions. Anything else you would like us to know about you or the channel, or before I turn you loose?
Yeah, so thanks for having me on. I just want to say it's been an honor to be on your show. I really appreciate the invite. That was very kind of you. The channel is just an easygoing channel. Like every month we travel. There's a new video every week. So there'll be a new video on the channel every week. This next week is Christmas. So I decided I'm just going to flood the channel with Christmas stuff this week. But tune in. We have lots of great travel. Like I said, we're going to Mexico. We're going to Oregon. We're gonna show you on stage with Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks. So that'll be a really cool concert to see. I can't show you the concert, but I can show you some backstage stuff to the concert. And then we'll be going down to Hollywood in June. So there's always stuff to see.
All right. And I'll share with you, I think I responded to a comment you made about maybe Frosty the Snowman. So a lot of our 12 Days of Christmas is classic Christmas stuff that I'm downloading, namely from archive.org. You can virtually find anything at archive.org. And then I just let YouTube, so I upload it. A lot of these I'm uploading to be, aired at a later date anyway. But if it's something that's going to be shown soon, I just leave it as a private video until YouTube does its checks. So YouTube will check anything for me to make sure that I'm not stepping on anybody's copyright toes.
Well, you don't worry about the copyright strike there?
Yeah, it's not. There's no strikes. So claims will be filed. So Frosty the Snowman was a good example of that. There's a copyright claim, but it only means for me that I can't make any money off that video.
Well,
they'll let me share it.
So it doesn't matter.
They'll let me share it. And there was one, I did attempt to upload, or I uploaded it, the original 1947 Miracle on 34th Street. But that does have a copyright that nobody's allowed to show it except CBS or NBC or whoever has the rights to it. But I knew that. Again, I know that before it goes public. So I just took it down. I didn't share it. So
what I found out recently was that Apple bought the rights to the Charlie Brown Christmas story. So only Apple can show the Charlie Brown Christmas story.
So I'll be interested to see how that may impact people that have shared that here on YouTube. But just for what it's worth, if you're ever in doubt, just upload it and keep it private or unlisted or something first until all the checks are done so that you can prevent a strike or having them take it down after you've put it up.
That is
great. But our 12 Days of Christmas, our 12 Days of Christmas was never going to be about ad revenue or making any money. We just wanted to be, festive and share some of the little special shows that we've enjoyed from our childhoods and beyond. But I want to thank you for being on the show. This was a great interview. You did well,
Oh,
and
thank you.
I'm
Thank you
going
for
to
having me.
continue to. Yeah, I'm going to continue to encourage my followers to check out the channel and show you some support. And you can hang out if you'd like. You can hang out backstage. You can go back into the chat. I'm going to go over some channel stats right quick before I bring Angela up. But thank you. Merry Christmas to you. And I will be excited to watch you growing.
Thank you so much. And I will extend the offer. If anybody in this chat wants to send me their address, I will guarantee I will send you a postcard.
Okay. And if you would rather send it to me and I can send it to him, however you want to do it,
Yeah,
I will play
you want to get it to me, I will send you out a postcard from somewhere in the world.
Sweet. Thank you so much. I will look forward to talking to you again. And yeah, we'll talk about maybe doing an update video next Christmas.
Sounds great. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for having me. It was really fun.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So before I bring Angela up right quick, I want to do some channel stats with everyone. So I hope you're good to sit tight for just a bit, Angela. Let me share my screen. All right. So, just run down my list right quick. My friends Nina and Boyce at Runneth Over Garden and Life have picked up another subscriber in the past week. They're at 797. Ordered Steps has picked up a couple of subscribers. She's at 196. My friend Akashi Chris is at 291. There's another couple of subscribers for her. 12 Stones Ranch, our friend and neighbor Byron, is holding steady at 1,830 something. My friend Joe Hupp in Australia has picked up 3 subscribers in the last week. He's at 281. New channel member, Forensic Mystics, also has a great channel. She is at 376 subscribers today. My friend Nick, another Texas neighbor at Multi Hunter, has gained a subscriber in the past week. He's at 588. My friend Tiffany at Mud and Mascara, she's lost a subscriber. I do want to say that she has not posted in 6 or 7 days. It's so funny how consistently I see the numbers slide a little bit if there's not new stuff going out at least every couple of days. So she's at 416 today. Devin and Ryan, our Texas neighbor friends at Our New Land, are at 806 subscribers today. So they've jumped by 7. Obviously, we're pushing toward that 1,000 subscriber milestone for them. Great story there. Great channel. Check that out. My friends Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa are holding on to that 1,230 something subscriber count this week. My friend Ginger at What the Flock has gained 4 subscribers in a week. She's at 442 today. My friend Robin at What the Flock is at 385 today. She's gained 2 subscribers. My friend Lee at First Floor Audio, again, slid a couple of subscribers. He's at 649 today, but I haven't seen anything uploaded to the channel in, I think, 4 or 5 days. My friend Katie at Mayfield Ranch has gained 10 subscribers in a week. She's at 520 today. Rich New Design is holding on to those 305 subscribers that he had last week. Still no new content beyond those that handful of shorts that I saw last week. My friends Jeff and Lorena, some more Texas neighbors at Back to Country Homestead, have gained 8 subscribers. They are at 515 this week. My friend Brittany at RB Story, Ronnie and Brittany, she was in the chat earlier today. I don't know if she is still here today. They have gained some subscribers as well. There's a nice little jump right there. They are at 510 subscribers this week. They do have a giveaway happening. You have to go and watch a specific video, and then you have to comment in the video to be entered into the drawing to win a lot of amazing stuff. I think it's like $100 worth of stuff. And she is the Loofah Lady. Her website is loofalady.com. And so these are all some of the items that she sells at the website. So check them out. My friend Ashley at CNC Farms, still growing. She is at 824 subscribers today. Home Bartending with John is holding on to his 215 subscribers. My friend Vicki Lund, Dr. Lund at Psychology Noir with Dr. Lund, has gained 8 subscribers this week. She's at 453 today. My friend Adam Sky has gained a subscriber since last Friday. He's at 109 today. Lots of fun stuff at that channel as well. My friend Dino at the Late Late Horror Show has grown from 95,100 subscribers to 95,900 something, 900 something subscribers today. Dawn Ray B has gained 3 subscribers this week. She is at 367 today. My friends Jen and Steve at Good Times Homestead with Jen and Steve have also had a nice little batch of subscribers join their family. They're at 629 today. Nancy at Our Treasured Home is at 741 subscribers today. Fat Ninja DM has gained a subscriber. Again, if you're new to the channel here, he was a guest on my show on November 11th, and he passed away on Saturday, November 19th. But as an honor to him, and because he had a great message for his viewers, and was just a nice escape for people that suffer from anxiety and just have maybe had a rough road at some point in their lives, it's a nice little break to visit his channel. So he gained a subscriber since last Friday. He's at 472. My friend David at Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion has gained 20-something subscribers. He's at 1,640-something today. My friend Peter Tragos at Lawyer You Know is still in that 164,000-something range. So we are looking to get him to 200,000 as soon as we can, because he did tell me once that he would wear hammer pants and do a rap if he got to 200,000. Hello, P-Hop. Speaking of Peter Tragos, P-Hop is a friend of mine from Peter's channel, Lawyer You Know. Great channel. And again, he does free phone consultations. If you have any legal issues or questions or concerns and would like some advice, or for him to kind of guide you on what the next steps might be, you can contact him for free. My friend Steven at Papa's Kitchen, Texas neighbor, has gained 4 subscribers since last Friday. He's at 238 today. My friend Ralph at Webb's Web is holding on to 126 subscribers. My friend Amanda at Bare Bones Living, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago, is at 584 subscribers. So there's a little growth spurt for her there. My friend Danny at Danny Days Ahead, that was last week's guest. She has gained 4 subscribers in the last week. She's at 720 today. John at Pedroza Travel was at 610 subscribers last Friday. He's at 615 today. Again, when we get past that 500 number, then we want to shoot for 1,000 for our friends, the people that we support here on YouTube. There are just, some major milestones that any content creator at least dreams about from time to time. So I'd love for you guys to check out his channel. And then coming up next, we will have Angela with the Inquisitive Farmwife. She is backstage waiting to be brought up. I did want to share with you that David Hunt will be gracing us with some music at next week's Christmas stream, and I have some games planned for us. I'm hoping they will translate to the screen. I think we can have some fun with it. I'm still working on getting my nerve up and keeping my nerve up to at least sing one something for you guys live next week. I need to cross that hurdle. I'll just let you know now. That's a goal of mine. That's something I need to be comfortable doing, and I want to share that with you. So I hope you'll hold my hand through that process. Hello, Nanny B. I just wanted to say hello to Nanny B. There is another of my friends from Peter's channel. John Garner, another of my LYK Lawyer You Know friends. Thank you guys for being here today. And without further ado, I am going to bring up Angela, the Inquisitive Farmwife. I did want to take a second, too, to thank John at Pedroza Travel and Angela for submitting material for our Christmas Project 2022 video. I have been editing that for the last couple of days. I hope to have it up by Sunday. So, hint, hint, hint. If you have pictures or video clips that you would like us to include in that, you got to get them to me ASAP. I don't mind shifting some things around in the video to plug in some additional material. But I'm kind of down to the wire now, and I wanted to have the video up a week before Christmas. So Sunday, obviously, is kind of D-Day for that. But thank you for being here. Angela, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I've had a cold.
Oh,
I've got me some hot tea, and I'm going to try to hang with you the best I can.
I kind of thought when you did, I know you put a video up earlier today about all of the participants in your Dipcember collaboration, and I thought you sounded kind of scratchy.
Yes,
I
but I
thought,
wasn't about to cancel. I think I
okay,
can
we'll
suffer
make it work,
through.
and then you wave a white flag or something if it just gets to the point where it's uncomfortable for you. Since I've touched on the Dipcember, I received an invitation. My Dipcember video will go up on the 21st, y'all, and I've got a couple of dips. I know the one I want to do, but it'll be the first time I've done it. It'll be adding an ingredient to a dip that I've done before, so obviously I want to make it this weekend and make sure that it's worth sharing. I'm not picky, so I'm sure I'll like it. But Richard is kind of the litmus test for new stuff because he's ridiculously picky. But he does like chips and dip type stuff. He's not as particular about that. So you'll either be seeing this modified new dip from me, or I'll go with just a standard. I know it works every time, and uh,
Either one will be great.
okay. Or maybe I'll do them both in the same video
That would be great too.
if the first one really does turn out okay. But so that's part of what's been happening at Angela's channel this holiday is that she has this great Dipcember collaboration happening. Check out that playlist. If I've got a moderator in the chat that might like to go visit her channel right quick and pull up a link for that playlist, that would be fun to share that here so you guys can have an opportunity to get some ideas for some
I've been
appetizers.
overwhelmed with
I'm so excited at
no duplicates. They're all
yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's I've been watching to make sure that nobody's already doing what I think I want to do so that I can come up with something different if I see a duplicate. But let's get started with some questions before your voice gives out. My first question is always, what motivated you to start a YouTube channel?
Okay, so I actually technically got my channel 4 years ago because in order back then at least in order to comment on videos you had to have a channel or whatever. And so I wanted to be part of that community. I wanted to be part of that group. So I went ahead and I did that. And I did a few like response videos. If you go back and see those, they're there. But not until about a year ago did I actually start doing content. So that's kind of where I consider my starting point really with YouTube. And I did it because so many people had been asking me about my farm. I sell at farmers market for years and years, and people would ask all about my animals and how I did things and, you know, like my bread. And I would always share tips and things. But people like seeing it, and it was just a way to share that. And then now I've got this community of friends on YouTube, and I just love it.
So it's interesting that you said what you said about you kind of count your start date as like a year ago, because I've had a YouTube account since like 2013. If you go and look at my about page, it'll say join 2013, but I didn't post my first video until March of last year, 2021.
Right.
So yeah, so don't hold that against us when you see that it looks
exactly.
like we've been on YouTube for 10 years, 12 years, and we're still where we are because, you know, and then I didn't really start devoting myself full time to the channel until I retired at the end of April this year. So it was just squeezing in stuff where I could before that point. So I know what you mean. And let's see, back to my questions. So do you work outside your home? Do you have a day job, or is the farm your job?
The farm is my job. My husband and I are field farmers for our income.
Okay.
And then the YouTube is just, you know, fun. And then I have a hobby homestead farm where I have, you know, my dairy cows and my goats and my chickens and all the other things. And that really isn't an income. It's just, it has to kind of try to pay for itself.
Sweet. Thank you, Pete. Okay, so I know you guys can't click the link from here, but Pete found the link for the Dipcember playlist. I would love for you guys to check it out. I'm really excited. I'm excited because I'm already getting ideas now for some new stuff I can do. It's so easy to just stick with the standard, like I know everyone loves it. So if we're going to have company, I'm just going to make this because I know everyone loves it. but it's fun to see other stuff out there and get ideas to at least try something new from time to time. So
Absolutely.
you guys check out that playlist, show Angela some support, show the collaborators that are part of the event some support, and again, add to your little menu options this holiday, or just even just for kicks. Sometimes here we just have Swedish meatballs and little smokies and barbecue sauce just for fun because Richard asks for it for dinner some nights.
We love appetizers for
supper.
supper.
It doesn't have to be a special occasion. So does anyone help you with the channel as far as filming or editing or coming up with ideas? Man,
No.
I have yet to meet anyone that says more than maybe what John said or more, which is, about what I can say. Every now and then I will hand the phone to Richard and say, here, I need you to film this for me because I need both hands or whatever. And
Okay,
that's about
as
far. Well, yeah, no, again, I don't know how much that fits with what I mean by the question.
Yeah.
When I ask the question, it's more about, do y'all sit around the table and say, hey, you know what? Why don't we do a video about this? Or, hey, you know what? When you go out and do this thing next, let me film you so that you can. No, that doesn't happen here. So
no, I have
obviously
a little
that's the
cousin
norm.
that loves to come help me, and he'll throw ideas at me and stuff. But I mean, no.
I will take that back because Richard, I had mentioned it a long time ago, and Richard is the one that came to me a month or so ago and said, hey, why don't is there a way we can film us doing that little color by number game and we'll do a contest and see who finishes first? So he kind of thought that one up, but we're equally involved in taking care of all the animals here. I'd just love for him to, help me come up with ideas because I don't like to do the same thing if I can avoid it. P-Hop, I'm dumbfounded. I'm dumbfounded right now. Thank you, P-Hop. Hey, where are you guys? Boom, Serena, Bear, come and see. Come and see what P-Hop just sent. Yes, so they will get a little extra something this year. Thank you so much. That is beyond generous, and I love you. I appreciate you for that. That's my mind is boggled, y'all. I'm thrilled that you guys show up for the lives at all. So when we get these little blessings sprinkled in as well, I'm never at a loss for words. I just thank you. So sorry, Angela, let me get back to my questions here. So do you have on your channel a favorite video that you've uploaded or one that you're most proud of?
Not really. I did the Last Chance cook-off, and I had a lot of fun with that one, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm still finding myself.
Okay. And do you have what videos tend to get the most interactions from people, the most views and likes and comments? Like your animals. What's
anything to do with a collaboration.
Okay. Because I know it's funny for me to sometimes see, I think the dogs on our channel are very popular, but I think the ducks and geese are very popular. And so I kind of think maybe the ducks and geese are like a novelty. Like a lot of people have dogs. And I don't feel like I don't feel like I've been recording the ducks and geese as much lately. There's been a lot more dog stuff happening. Part of that is that it's colder and it's been yucky, rainy and stuff. And I'm not outside hanging around with them as much.
And see,
I'm inside with the dogs staying warm and dry.
I haven't been doing a lot of outside projects or anything to video. It's all been cooking lately.
Yeah. I think the last duck related thing was when we did our last water change out in the little pond that's in the duck yard. We always do one right toward the end of the year because we know at some point it's going to start getting cold and the top will freeze over and, they won't spend quite as much time in it. So, anyway, so I kind of feel like the dogs and the ducks maybe are most popular here. What is something you always keep in mind when you are coming up with ideas or actually filming and creating a video for the channel?
What people might enjoy watching.
Okay. And do you just base that then on, again, interactions and engagements with previous videos or?
Right. So if I know I'm going to be milking the cow and I've done it so many times, it's like, when I was searching on YouTube before I started doing this stuff, I would research how to milk a cow, and I would like to watch several videos. And I appreciated the ones that would do certain things. And so I would try to incorporate the things that I learned off of it or enjoyed off of it to teach and show others.
Okay, sweet. And that leads me to a question. So, what do you watch on YouTube beyond homesteading kind of stuff? Because I'm just going to take the liberty of assuming that you probably do watch a lot of other homesteading content, farm content. Is there something else you like to watch that we would maybe be surprised by?
Probably not. The ones I like watch like almost every day are either homesteading or cooking, or like I got really into bread baking there for a while, so I was watching a variety of people who did different types of breads, because the inquisitive part of my name is I like to try new things. So I don't know, if I see something, I like to research it, learn it, try it, do it, and then teach it.
Okay. Yeah, so just FYI for you guys, I don't know if you would be surprised to know, because I know I watch Peter's channel a lot. Like, that's where I am. That's probably 45% of the time I'm on YouTube. I love true crime. Like, I can binge true crime. I watch Crime Weekly. I watch That Chapter. I watch what is that? Red Tree something. I think part of it is that it almost makes me feel more normal and like a better person. I must be somehow, in the grand scheme of things, a better person in the world, because I have never even dreamed of this kind of stuff I see in some of these crime shows.
Okay, I figured out what it would be then.
Okay.
Hoarders.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Are there lots of hoarder channels?
Like TLC or whatever, I think
the
you
shows.
can get on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get on YouTube and watch like past episodes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you kind of spark that. You're secretly thinking, well, I'm not that bad then,
Right. No. See, yeah. I just
feel good about yourself.
There's got to be some subliminal thing that I am getting out of it beyond just learning about these cases. Hello, Dark Lord Menet. How are you? Thanks for being here today. What's your favorite thing about YouTube?
Community. Right now, it would be community. I've made such a great group of friends in this last month that I've made connections with, that we actually talk outside of YouTube, like phone calls and emails. And yeah, it's great to find people that, around here there are farmers, but there aren't a lot of homesteaders that maybe have a like mind. And I have found lots of friends, and community.
What's your least favorite thing about YouTube?
Trolls.
Is what?
Trolls.
Oh. Yeah. Hey, did you see the little sex bot that popped into my chat?
I wanted to type on there, go away, spammer, or whatever,
Yeah, again, obviously I've hit the big time now because I have those bots showing up in my chat, right?
You did it, girl.
If you could collaborate with any other YouTuber, like if you have a favorite YouTuber or someone that's inspired you, if you could collaborate to produce a video together, is there someone, and who would it be?
I couldn't really say, because it's so crazy. I have started having those opportunities to collaborate with some of those people that I have been watching for years, and it's really kind of surreal. I don't know. I like Becky at the Acre Homestead. She doesn't do collaborations, so I guess it would be kind of cool to do a collaboration with her.
Okay.
I don't know. The ones that I would say I've actually contacted, and we might be getting together in February. So I don't know.
Okay. Well, I may have to follow up with you then again next year, and we'll see where that went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your favorite kind of food?
Chocolates.
Okay. So sweets. You're a sweets lover?
Probably, yeah.
Do you make candy?
Not very often.
Okay. What's your favorite?
My homemade caramels, I do when I have a chance, I make them and they sell out like fast, which is good because then I don't sit and eat them.
What's your favorite chocolate dessert then? Or you just mean chocolate, like eat a chocolate
Just
candy
a
bar?
chocolate bar.
Okay.
My favorite treat if I go to the city would be to go to a coffee shop and get this like turtle mocha hot coffee drink.
Uh-huh.
That
And
is
so
a treat for me.
what city would you go to if you're going to a city? Where are you?
So I'm in Northeast Kansas. And so I'm right on the corner between Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri.
So you're in Tornado Alley.
Yes.
More so than I am even, yeah.
Yeah. So the like St. Joseph, Missouri would be where I go. But like the city would be like Topeka, which is the capital for Kansas. Or Kansas City, which everybody knows for the airport.
Uh-huh.
But I don't like going there very often. I don't do city driving at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a fan anymore of being on the highway for sure. Yeah, I'll go to the Kroger that's 2 miles from here. But even then I try to time it so that I don't think it's going to be a rush hour thing.
It's the interstates that get me or just
I don't
know.
like driving on the highway anymore. Do you travel? I know you probably are kind of tied down now, but have you traveled? Do you like to travel?
To really badly. But it's really hard with milking animals to be able to leave. I did last summer take a canoe trip or a kayaking trip for the first time. And I hope to do that again this summer. We've planned that. And my husband would love to do a lot of traveling, but he watches a lot of YouTube channels about traveling, actually.
Okay.
And so I don't know. I'll work towards it. I have a hard time letting other people take care of my things.
Yeah, it's hard. Again, we are our channel name. We have a home business that we started back in 2014. Richard lost his job and we had to have money. I was still working and making pretty good money, but not enough for all the rescue work and just all that we had here that we were responsible for. But we named our company name was RichKatRanch. So it was a no-brainer to name the channel that. But that was kind of our philosophy really early on. We had a lot of animals, which meant we couldn't travel much. We've only made like 2 away trips ever, beyond, taking the dogs camping for a weekend or something. But the longer trips, someone has to come and stay here. Somebody can't just stop by and, top off the cat waterers or, someone's got to be here. So I feel for you there. But have you traveled in the past? Do you have a place you've visited before that you enjoyed?
Oh, sure. I've done some traveling. When I was in high school, we went to Quebec. That was fun. Gosh, I don't know. We've been a lot of places in the U.S. Haven't really been out of Canada much. Oh, my husband and I got to take a cruise to Alaska. That was pretty awesome.
Nice. Yeah, that's on my bucket list. Alaskan cruise and a Greek Isles cruise. Mm-hmm. I've never cruised. I've never done a cruise at all. So if I'm going to go, I want it to be like a top-notch stellar destination.
Yeah.
Are you on other social media?
Facebook is where I'm most active. I have accounts other places like Instagram, but I don't have very many followers because I really don't do anything on there, to be honest. Okay. I'm not very good with technology. And so to be able to just focus on, Facebook is pretty okay for me. And YouTube kind of being able to do all this is, I'm still learning so much. But
And are you the Inquisitive Farmwife on Facebook also?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys look her up there as well. You celebrate Christmas? Not really? Do you have a tradition, though, this time of year? Something you guys don't really do except this time of the year?
Our big time to get together with family is Thanksgiving.
Okay. And do you have family close by? Do people come in from out of town?
My daughter lives the furthest of all of them, and she's like less than 2 hours from me. So when we get together with my This was the first year our Thanksgiving was just me and my close family. But normally there's like 22 plus of us.
Oh,
But
wow.
9 of the kids got married this year.
Okay.
And so that made our family well over, like 40 when we would all get together. So we're at the point where now we're having to get a bigger place and do like a reunion type thing. But yeah, we get together a lot. Like I'm just a very close with my family. My cousin, she and I call each other sister. We always did. And my kids and her kids ended up growing up calling us aunt. So I'm Aunt Angie. I'm not their cousin,
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
how many kids do you have?
3.
Okay. And so this is not a trick question, and you can ballpark it. How many animals do you have?
Oh, I don't know. I can't. Okay. So 4 large cows, 2 calves, 11 goats, a dozen or more ducks, 20 chickens, half a dozen or so geese, 7 peacocks, 4 turkeys, 7 guineas. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, and
Any dogs
7
or cats?
dogs.
Are any of the dogs like livestock guardian dogs?
Yes. We have a Great Pyrenees, a Great Pyrenees mix. And then the other 4 are just tiny. Oh, yeah. My daughter, she has guinea pigs too. And a couple cats. I think that's it.
Did you grow up farming or being around farm animals?
So my dad, he was a field farmer with my grandpa. And they also had cattle, but I wasn't involved in it. I didn't know how to do, when my father-in-law passed, my husband and I took over their farm. And I'd never been in a tractor, like to drive in the driving seat before that. And my husband's like, yep, you just do this, this, and this. And away I went with this huge piece of machinery with this big wagon with all of our grain on the back. And I'm supposed to, learn how to make the arm go out and make it go in the truck and not spill, like 3 months worth of our income.
I won't even drive the 0-turn mower here.
Oh,
Richard has a great time with it. And I think every time he's ever been out in it, he says, come drive this. Come try it. Come try it. It's really
it's
cool.
Fun. Do it.
I don't even want to do it. I'm not even interested in riding it. So that's his thing.
Well, yeah, it's okay.
Do you consider yourself more an introvert or an extrovert?
Probably an extrovert, but the older I get, I'm becoming more of an introvert.
Okay. And do you have siblings?
1 sister.
Okay. Is she older or younger?
She's older.
Okay. Let me go back. I'm looking at my questions here. All right. You get the deserted island question. So you're stranded on an island. What 3 things do you want to have with you?
My husband, my kids.
Oh, that third one.
I guess a way to have clean water.
Okay. And then you just go catch your own fish and coconuts.
To forage for food, I guess.
Okay, yeah. That's where farming would come in handy, I would think. You're used to having to harvest things, and right. So
Yeah.
what kind of plants, what kind of foods are you growing on the farm?
We do soybeans and corn.
Okay, and is that's part of what you do for your living, but you also do that to feed the family? Do you have other crops you grow just for feeding the family?
No, so the field crops are just for income only. I don't even raise my own grains for my animals.
Okay.
We don't have that. We don't have enough land to be able to do that kind of
How
farming.
much acreage, how much land do you have?
About 550 acres.
Oh,
so we're not super big, but
that's
enough
super
to sustain ourselves.
That's super big to me.
There's farmers around here who have thousands of acres.
Oh my gosh.
Employees and they can like support generations. Like right now, my son, my youngest child, he helps us farm, but we could not afford to keep him full time. So he, has to get his own education and still just be a part-time, seasonal helper.
Okay, and I'm trying to get caught up in the chat now. So
That's
Seth the
awesome,
Welsh,
Seth.
yeah, I thought I'd share
I
that
love
little
animals
comment.
too.
I thought I would, yeah. Can't a lot of us say that? When we started doing rescue work, and I know there's, there are other things you can do that are akin to that. Working with um, needy people, or but I don't know. It just speaks to my heart to rescue animals that don't have what they need, or don't have a home, or don't, they need medical attention or whatever. So I hope it counts in the grand scheme of things. But let me get caught up here. Look here. Okay, so here's John with a lead for you when you're ready for that cruise. And yes, it's hard to travel when you have a lot of animals to feed. What was the first farm animal you added to the homestead?
Well, we're always adopting dogs. It seems like people are always, hey, you live on a farm. Can you take one more? And, silly me, of course. So I think it was kittens. They had burned a house down just down the road from me. And they didn't realize that a mama had kittens in there. And so they had these kittens that had been in that fire, and I scooped them up and took them home while we were still trying to build our house out here. And I took care of them. But then as far as like a livestock animal, chickens, they're the gateway animal.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's my next step. I want to start raising meat birds. I don't know why that makes me kind of cringy, because I eat chicken, I eat meat. I don't have a problem with that, but I do have a problem with not um, anthropomorphizing and considering the animals all part of the family. Yet there's the other side of me that would appreciate knowing that what I'm eating received great care and was loved and had a safe place to be for all the days before the day that it's their turn to serve their purpose. And I just think, it just makes so much sense to not be putting all these chemicals in our bodies that are put in all these foods that someone else is processing and harvesting. So we'll get there one day.
I have eaten some of my own birds, but I have not dispatched them.
Yeah,
and processed them.
Yeah, and I've watched.
I took them to a friend.
Yeah, I've watched videos. I'm not like grossed out. It's not about the work. It's just about the emotional connection I tend to make with animals. So I will need a little help overcoming that when the time comes. Hello, Janet from Janet Homestead, where you are. Thanks for being here today. Again, I'm trying to get caught up on the chat. I don't want to think I've missed someone's question for you. Destiny is training her. Yeah, I think I saw you mention that in one of your videos, that you're training them to get comfortable so people can handle them and be around them. So, and I think John asked what a zero turn mower is. It really does have wheels that will turn 360 degrees. So if you're on a little patch of land where you're mowing, you turn it and it doesn't leave its spot. It just turns in that same spot. So it's not like a car where you would have to swing around, to make a turn in a narrow spot or a small area. This really does. It could just sit here and do little 360 degree turns in that same spot. So it's very handy for mowing big areas, or getting into small areas, even though the mower itself is pretty big. I love seeing you guys connecting in this chat. This is awesome. And I love that I'm looking at my chat and just seeing so many different kinds of channels and content creators and just people in general. This is awesome. And John, I didn't realize you got a rescue animal. That's awesome. I love that. Here's a comment from Nanny B. So for someone who wants to get started raising chickens,
I would say 3. I would, when I get animals, I always try to get 3 of everything, because most any animal in livestock world are used to being in a herd. And so if you have just one, they get really lonely. And they just do better in a trio. Like if you'd get lose one, if one would get sick or something, you'd still have another one. Of course, I did convince my husband that I would only have one milk cow, and we now have 4.
So, do you have roosters also? Do you raise your own chickens? Okay.
Are you asking me or
you? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I just kind of let nature, right? The last couple of years, I've just let nature take its course, and I just let them hatch out when they want to. I have little bannies, and so they're super good at hatching out. And you lose a lot because they get out of the fence, and then a wild animal gets them or whatever. But I do incubate sometimes too.
Okay.
If I know I really like a colorful basket, so I like have a wide array of different kinds of chickens. So I get like the dark chocolate eggs, and I get the green ones, and the light browns, and the olive, whatever.
And Seth the Welsh is asking if you haul hay with the tractor.
So that's another thing. We don't get our own hay. So I'm really lucky that I have awesome neighbors, and they will deliver the hay to me.
Oh, nice.
Whether it's the big bales or the little bales, but my husband does. We did kind of have a spike welded on the back of the tractor to be able to move it from one farm to another if we need to. But we use our Bobcat usually to just put it in the feeder.
Okay. And then tell me, what are your goals? Like, ultimately, where do you see your channel? What do you want to see from your channel, in the years to come, in the months to come? What do you hope it will be?
I didn't have an expectation of what this would be or what it could become. And so I think so I wouldn't disappoint myself or put too much pressure on myself. Because when I give myself to something, no matter what it is, I give all of me.
Huh.
And so
it's your identity.
I started a job in town a few years back, and it was supposed to be 2 to 3 hours a day, maybe once or twice a week. And next thing I knew, I was managing the place and working 13-hour days or more, and so I didn't want to put that pressure on myself for this. So I'm just kind of letting it go where it wants to go. And, the algorithm, it all changes. And like it used to be, once you got 1,000 subs, then you done it. But now you have to have all these watch hours, and I don't even know what else you have to have. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to have that. I don't know. I'm just going to have fun with it.
Okay. Well, that's what'll draw people in, though. I think if you're enjoying it, that will come through, continue to come through in the videos. When I see a content creator share a little update like you did earlier today, and I could tell how excited you were, and I felt like you were not expecting Dipcember to go like this.
No.
And I thought, yes, that's the kind of enthusiasm that people want to come for. I mean, again, I like the crime stuff. I don't know that I can say there's any sort of a boost that happens for me, but most of what happens on YouTube for me, it's because it feeds me. It feeds me emotionally. The connections I have with people in chats, getting to know other content creators. I don't get out and socialize a lot. Again, we don't travel really at all anymore. And so it feeds me. It meets those needs for me. And I was just really tickled to see that video because I could tell that you were surprised at how well it's going, which I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's a no-brainer that it's going to go well. I just expected that it would go well. That's why I was so excited when you invited me to be a part of it. So it was refreshing to just, again, to feel that energy that you were exuding when you were doing your little update on how the event is going. So, Southern Mama, this is someone who's become a friend of mine because I met her in a chat at another person's channel. And so we message back and forth on Instagram now, and she has also sent me some images and videos that I'm going to be using in the Christmas project video.
Awesome.
So and that's always been something fun for me. School was fun for me because I liked meeting new people. Travel has always been fun for me because I like meeting new people. Singing has always been fun for me because it gives me opportunities to go out and meet new people. And I don't think I was expecting YouTube to offer those same kind of things. So as long as that's your goal, you just want to have fun with it, I think you will grow because of that. Because people are hungry for that kind of energy. There's so much in the world that it's not feeding us. It's just sucking us dry. And I'm excited when I meet someone and find a new channel where I go and it's positive, it's nurturing, it's educational, it's
Yeah.
all the things that I think we need so that we can keep growing and be happy and healthy and whole. Um, and I worry sometimes when I see channels where I can tell that it's getting old. You can just tell the spirit is not still there. It's not fun anymore, I don't think, for the content creators, and
Well,
that's sad.
they only post things that are trying to get them those numbers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
Again,
you can tell
you
they're
can feel the difference. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You can feel the difference. And I've posted plenty of stuff where I've just thought, no one but me is going to like this. But hey, it's my channel, and I want to be able to go back and relive whatever this thing was, or
Yeah.
smile about it again because I see it. So the ones that enjoy that as well are, again, they're like my little core group of people. They get me and they understand
Yeah.
that some of the stuff I put on the channel is just because it's important to me, and uh, it's a big deal to me. So I am thankful for you and what you're sharing on your channel. I don't remember now where I first saw your name.
Okay, so I think how we met. Well, I mean, you may have seen my name before, but Gail at Gail Southern Living
Okay.
told me about your collab because I had told
Okay.
her, I was like, "Hey, what collabs are going on?" Because she seems to always know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so she had told me about that, and I was like, "Okay." And so that's how I think we met. And then I was like, "Well, maybe you'd like to be on mine, you know,
Okay.
be nice
Maybe so.
to each
Yeah, because
other."
I do
Yeah,
remember thinking it was a surprise when you wanted to submit something for the video. And I
yeah,
thought, okay, well, somebody must be sharing it. So I only feel bad now because I've missed out on, the last year of you already having a channel and posting videos. So I'm going to have to get caught up with your content. But I'm
same.
enjoying what I see. And again, most of all, I just am enjoying you. I'm enjoying your spirit and the energy that
Well,
you're
thank you.
sharing with us through the videos. Because aside from the creepy crime stuff, that's what I need from YouTube. I don't need to come here and get stressed out or be frustrated or annoyed or brought down, with sadness. I don't mind sharing when something's bad. I think, that's been another nice thing about the community here. It's not all roses. It's not all peaches and cream every day. And when you've got animals, for sure, you touched on already losing animals to predators. We've lost animals to predators. We've lost animals to cancer and brain tumors, uh, and that's sad too. So I do want to share, all sides of it because some people are interested in that and they don't live it themselves, and so it kind of gives them, more of an idea of what it's like to be a homesteader or to be an animal rescuer or whatever it is your channel might focus on. So apologies to anyone that doesn't like seeing that kind of stuff on my channel from time to time, but it's part of who we are. Um, and let me see if there were any other questions I wanted to ask. I don't think so. Just tell us what do you most want or hope that people will know about you when they come to visit your channel?
I don't know, just that I'm real. I mean, what you see is what you get, and I'm faith based, and so that's important to me. Family. I don't know. I just want people to come and feel like they can be themselves and be safe and make a new friend.
Again,
So
that's what's going to make you grow.
yeah, you can have lots of friends. So
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. Hello, Recyclable Homestead. Thank you for being here today. I love seeing new names in the chat. Well, I'm going to wrap it up with you now. unless you've got questions for me. I didn't see any other questions in the chat. If anybody else has questions for Angela, get them posted so she can answer before she loses her voice altogether.
Yes, thanks for bearing with me. And
Yeah.
actually, at 4:00, I'm supposed to go live on my channel.
Well, and at 4:00,
so,
we have 2 boarders being dropped off that will be with us through Christmas Eve. So,
oh wow!
So I promised them, yes, I'll make sure I wrap the show up before 4:00 so we can do the transfer of the dogs. These are boarders that have been with us lots and lots of times over the years. There were 3 dogs in this family. Well, first there were 2, and then they adopted a third one, and their first one passed away. And so now it's still just the 2. But one of the 2 is epileptic, so he's got some special needs. We have to make sure he stays on his medicine. And they're plug and play. They come in, and they've been here so often over the years that it's just like having another couple of family dogs. So I promised them I would make sure I was finished before 4:00 so that we could be ready for a couple new animals in the family for a little while. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, Seth the Welsh. There's honey in my tea.
Oh, okay. And bye, Logan. Thanks for listening and watching with your mom today. So again, I'll turn you loose. I'm going to be excited to see more of the December entries submitted. And yes, you guys be watching. Mine will go up on the 21st. That's my day. Maybe it'll be 2 dips. Maybe it'll be something that I don't even know I'm making yet if somebody else is already making what I'm making. But we'll know when it happens. Thank you for being with me today. I hope your throat is not feeling bad and that it's just a scratchy laryngitis
thing.
It
just sounds terrible.
Okay. Yeah. Tis the season.
Anyway,
have a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to turn you loose.
Okay, if y'all get bored, come on over to my channel. I'm going to do a live here in a few minutes.
Yes, go check her out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angela.
Right. Thanks again. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. All right, so I want to spin for Channel of the Week right quick. Let me get that. I closed all the other windows just because I didn't want to be too taxing on our crummy upload speed that we tend to have from time to time. So let me pull that up. Usually I have all these windows already open and all I have to do is share my screen, but I've got to pull that up right quick. And again, if you're new, my Channel of the Week spin is just an opportunity to maybe introduce all of you to a new channel, something that you didn't know about that you might not think to look for, but that gives you an idea of kind of stuff and, just have some fun with it. So spin Channel of the Week and see. Last week it was Pentatonics. If you guys don't know Pentatonics, you need to check them out. They have some Christmas stuff coming out this year. This week's Channel of the Week is Facing Reality. So this is a channel, again, a very inspirational channel. She's a teacher in Jamaica. Content, lots of educational content, a lot of meditation type content there. She's got a good head on her shoulders, and she's a friend that I met through Tuber Chat. Tuber Chat is a growth stream channel and helps small channels grow by connecting them with other content creators. It's not about connecting them with subscribers and viewers as much as it is with connecting them with other content creators, because we can all learn from each other. Lots of people have already, hoed the row, so to speak. No reason to reinvent the wheel. And there's a great, generous community of content creators here that can mentor and guide and coach and teach. I would love to be counted among one of those. So if any of you, again, have small channels and you'd like a little help, or you want to, again, be on the show and be introduced to some potential new viewers and subscribers, I'd love to work with you. And we all grow together that way. And there's room for everybody at the top. So it's not a competition among channels to be able to share other, content creators and their videos with my subscribers and my viewers. I'm thrilled to do it. I'm happy to do it. And you just have to reach out to me to let me know if that's something that you're interested in. So let me see. Okay, I don't think I see anything else. I think Peter's going to go live here in just a bit also, so I'm sure my LYK folks will be over there if he hasn't already started. Many thanks to John and Angela for being on the show today. Many thanks for all of you that were in the chat today. Thank you, Seth the Welsh, and thank you, P-Hop, for the super chats today. Again, gravy on top of a blessing. Be with me next week. We will have some music from David Hunt. A very gifted and talented and genuine, warm person, a great musician. You'll be blessed by that. We'll have some Christmas games, and it will be an open panel. So the chat link or the stream link will be posted in the chat, and I will be encouraging anyone who's in the chat to come up and just say hello and wish people a Merry Christmas or whatever you might like to say that's kind of related to the holidays. Those are always fun. Again, when we can see, put a face with a name, that's always another connection, and it just deep the bonds I think we all have here. So I hope you guys will join me with that. I'm going to get out of here now, though, so that I can let our dogs have a little break outside, burn a little bit of energy before their friends come, because it's always a little bit overly energetic when we have new visitors come. And I think that's it for today. Much love to everyone from Rich Cat Ranch. Wonderful holiday season. Again, I'm going to be working on the Christmas project video, and I hope to have that up on Sunday. So if you'd still like to be included, send me your content. There is a video with the link for our Google Drive. So if it's a bigger file and you need to send it that way, you can send it that way, or you can contact me at Facebook, RichKatRanch, Instagram, RichKat_ranch, to send me pictures or even just a little story, something that you'd like for me to share in video. I love you all. I appreciate you all. You are making the holiday that much more special for me. I hope wherever you are, you're safe and well and warm and happy. If you're struggling with some kind of a health issue, I'm going to have you on my prayer list that everybody is restored to health. And just know that you mean a lot to us, and we're thankful for all of you. So, again, love to all from Rich Cat Ranch. I'll see you in the next live stream. And take care, everybody. I'll leave the chat open for just a little while so you guys can wrap up your goodbyes.